Welcome to Mexico's tropical holiday paradise, Cancun. One of the nation's leading holiday destinations, it now plays host to its very first event on the IJF World Judo Tour as it stages its inaugural Grand Prix. Mexico is an emerging player in World Judo, and after successfully hosting the World Masters last year in Guadalajara, the nation eagerly awaited Judo's return to its shores for the penultimate event before 2017's showpiece, the Suzuki World Judo Championships in Budapest. At the draw, IJF President Mr. Marius Vizza was present, alongside special guest Antonio Castro Soto del Valle, and congratulated everyone involved in the Grand Prix. There were many new names and young up-and-comers on show, and we'll see how all of them got on, as well as seeing some familiar faces doing their thing. We'll bring you Hashimoto Soichi's thoughts ahead of his first World Championship appearance this year. And we'll see if Luz Olvera could become Mexico's first World Judo Tour gold medalist. We start with the men's under 66 kilogram category, where Israel's world number 4 Tal Flicker was one of those up-and-comers hitting form at just the right time. Having taken Grand Slam gold in Baku in the spring, a summer Grand Prix gold in Cancun would stand him in good stead for Budapest.
The under 66 kilogram gold medal contest then, Flicker against Guerrero, both left-handers. Lovely Cianagi there from Flicker. A good Wazari, and that puts him ahead. Here he is underneath his opponent, but didn't quite get the rotation for a bigger score. Transition good though, as always. Now Guerrero has to attack. He's got to do something. Being dominated with the grip. Flicker has the sleeve. And the Cianagi again. Wazari again. Second Wazari directly into the Osai Komi. And it doesn't look as if he's going to get out of that. Well, he actually went off the arm there. It was the Sodi Surikomigoshi. And he came off the other shoulder. Straight into the hold down. And no way he was going to get out of it. Look at the different drive he gets. Good control from Flicker. Kept control of the hands all the way over. Never let go. And then he held him for the ippon. And this puts Flicker up to world number 2.
As new world number 2, we thought it was well worth finding out what makes Flicker tick.
I started judo when I was 6 years old. My father took me to a martial arts center, and I love judo the most. My favorite tachiwaza is Morote Sionage, and I like it because I was good at it when I was a kid. My favorite newaza technique is sankaku. I like it because I practiced a lot of it. My favorite memory from the World Judo Tour is winning a gold in Grand Slam Baku, because it was my first medal in Grand Slam. My hero is Michael Jordan. I like him because he failed many times, but he still was the best. Three words to describe me are funny, hard worker, and lazy. My hidden talent is that I'm surf. I like to surf in Tel Aviv beaches near my house. If I wasn't a judo player, I would be fat. No, I would be a surfer.
And there was further cause for Israeli judo to rejoice in the under 100 kilogram division, as Peter Palchik took his first World Judo Tour gold in Cancun. He was on great form all day, using his dropping shoulder throw to great effect, scoring heavily on his opponents as he racked up 6 Rosaris and 2 Ippons on his path to the final. After pinning Great Britain's Filipe Awiti Alcaraz, he took out Brazil's former world champion Luciano Correa at the semi-final stage, with a wonderful Sodi Surikomigoshi to build up a real buzz in the stadium ahead of his gold medal matchup. It saw him pitted against another Brit, Ben Fletcher, who was also in search of a maiden World Judo Tour gold. After a tense bout, it looked as though the final would head to golden score. But in the last 20 seconds, Palchik struck, once again dropping underneath his opponent to score a match-winning Wazari. the icing on the cake of an accomplished display from Palchik, as he emerged with a significant confidence boost, with Budapest just around the corner. And on form like this, he could well be one to watch. The final of the under 60 kilograms bracket would see Spain's junior world champion Francisco Garrigos in search of Grand Prix gold to add to his Grand Slam title from Abu Dhabi last year. But it was his opponent, Brazil's Felipe Pelim, who looked the most dangerous in Cancun. Having thrown big in his early contests, he took on Ashley Mackenzie of Great Britain at the semi-final stage and came up with a fantastic wazari for the win. Implementing a specialist Korean-style seanagi and combining it with Koso Togari expertly for a place in the final. Garrigos would be expecting a hard test from Pelim.
Pelim had good form all day. Garrigos now very experienced. The reigning junior world champion that really made his stamp now in the seniors. And he can't stay there, Pelim, that's for sure. Now what's going to happen? Garrigos straight on top. And look at that, Hidaka Jimmy doesn't get any more basic than that, and he gets the submission. Ippon. That was made very easy by Garrigos, and Pelim made a big mistake. Stayed on his hands and knees, and you can't do that, not at this level. And he was straight on top, slipped the arm underneath the neck there, gets the submission there. Hidaka Jimmy, and that is a big surprise because Pelim has had good form all day. So a good result there for Garrigos, and it was good opportune Newaza that wins him the gold medal. That was his second World Judo Tour gold, and he's looking good now, establishing himself in the seniors as well.
And there was more great action to be seen in the bronze medal contests. Belgium's Jura Verstraeten taking out Israel's Daniel Ben David in style, and Great Britain's Ashley Mackenzie matching suit as he threw Adonis Diaz of the US for Ippon to earn himself a Cancun medal. The man on form in the under 90 kilogram division was Azerbaijan's Tural Safguliev. These two near identical foot sweeps helped him make it through to his first World Judo Tour final in over 5 years. His last and only gold coming in Baku back in 2012. It would be another Spaniard hoping to stop him, as Nicolas Sherazadishvili looked to emulate Garrigos' gold medal winning performance in Cancun, as he contested a World Judo Tour gold for the first time.
Well, Sherazadishvili is a Shido down. Doesn't matter yet, but it can matter at the end. Oh, look at that! Oh, Savguliev there takes him back with Uranagi. So he's a Wazari up, but straight into the hold down. He almost got held down there. It was a nice Uranagi, well committed, and he just manages to stay off his back there, so he gets the score. Sherazadishvili now has to come from behind. Arm round the back. Well, this gold medal contest by no means over yet. Surigoshi! And he gets the score. Wazari scored. And directly into the hold down. They're well outside the area, but it started inside. Now look at the hold down, look. He's got good control of his opponent there. Safguliev can't do anything about it. He knows that it's slipping away. And Sherazadishvili is going to win the gold medal. Spain are going to get the gold medal. And that was brilliant transition from the Spaniard. It's his first gold medal ever on this world tour. And what a time to do it. World Championship beckons. Right on the edge. This is what started it. Uchimata gets the Wazari back. So he scores the Wazari. And of course, it's all about the transition. Look at him looking at the clock there, just counting the seconds down. The control on the sleeve, the control on the upper part of the body, and he holds for Ippon. Sherazadishvili wins the gold medal, and a big smile on his face says it all.
The under 73 kilogram division is overshadowed by the phenomenal talent of reigning world and Olympic champion Ono Shohei of Japan. But Japan have another amazing prospect in the division, Hashimoto Soichi. After winning the World Masters last year in Guadalajara, he has won his last 3 Grand Slam outings and is unbeaten on the World Judo Tour for over a year and a half. With Japan having defended the under 73 kilogram title since 2010, the pressure will be on him to perform at the World Championships in Budapest. After last month's winning performance at the Ekaterinburg Grand Slam, we took the opportunity to catch up with him. Here's what he had to say.
People often say my judo style reminds them of Mr. Koga. Actually, I did used to watch him in the past. I would see fights or videos of Koga and watch how he executed his techniques. And then I would practice them myself. What is the reason that I always go after the ippon? Well, to be honest, I'm not actually chasing the ippon itself, but my basic principle is to go after victory. Of course, it's great if I get an ippon in the process, but the first thing I keep in my mind is to win no matter what it takes. The under 73 kilogram world title has been won by either Nakaya, Akimoto, or Ono every time since 2010. I believe the secret behind Japanese strength here is the fact that we have many champions, and it generates stimulation within the country, which makes everybody stronger. As for the Budapest World Championships, well, to be honest, I feel a huge amount of pressure, because the category has been won every time by Japanese since 2010. However, as long as I do judo, my goal is to be a world champion, and therefore I am absolutely determined to win. There are a lot of strong judokas around the world, but amongst them, An Chang-grim stands out. The Korean athlete has speed together with a strong mentality. Also, Georgia's Shavtuashvili and the Mongolian Ganbatar are very strong. They have good physical strength with a wrestling style and have a lower center of gravity, making them hard to throw. After that, Russia's Iatsev is very good at newaza and ashiwaza. Also, Orujov. The Azerbaijani Orujov is almighty. He's a great all-rounder. He can do anything. To overcome these rivals, I need physical and mental strength together with speed. I will reinforce these attributes and win a gold medal at the World Championships. Obviously, the Japanese and international media often ask me, what do you think of Ono? I now expect to be asked this question, so I think I need to fight against him. Even if I become a world champion, it's not a true victory if I don't beat Ono. No matter who or what stands in my way, I am determined to be a world and Olympic champion.
In Hashimoto's absence, the 73 kilogram gold went to his victim in Ekaterinburg, Marcelo Contini, after the Brazilian produced a superb example of Sangaku Jimmy against Israel's Tohar Butbul for the win, turning him over onto his back and gaining the submission via strangulation. One of judo's most useful groundwork techniques, executed perfectly by Contini. And since this was also Flicker's favourite groundwork technique, we asked Neil to take us through it in our dojo.
Sangaku Jimmy is one of the most popular techniques on the circuit. It is the vogue technique. And the biggest advantage is that we can not only strangle to get the submission, but we can also hold down with the Sangaku on as well. So let's have a little look, see how it's done. What actually happens is the athletes gain control of the head and the arm at the same time, and once they've actually turned their opponent over, tied the arm off, they then have to triangle the legs. Once they've triangled the legs, of course they can get the submission. But the other advantage is that then they can turn into the hold down. So it is a double whammy. We've got a hold down, but we've got the strangle. And quite often what happens is they get the submission from the strangle as they turn into the hold down.
Amongst all the young up-and-comers prevailing in Cancun, the under 63 kilograms saw the experience of Brazil's Caitlin Quadros coming to the fore as she made it through to the final. After finishing Sergia David of Honduras with a strangulation technique, the 2008 Olympic bronze medalist and two-time Grand Prix winner then threw for Wazzari against Slovenia's Andrea Leski, with this skillful foot sweep at the semi-final stage. In the final, she faced off against Great Britain's Amy Livesey, who looked ruthless on the ground on her path to the gold medal matchup, strangling both Enriqueles Barrios and Germany's Vivian Herrmann. Would experience prevail over youth in the final?
Quadros pushing forwards halfway through the contest. Just 3 Shidos on the board, 2 to Livesey of Great Britain and Quadros just ahead. Oh, Cianagi, it's all over. Drops Cianagi and Livesey goes over the top. And that was a lovely Cianagi there. She went onto it, didn't she, Livesey? She walked forwards and Quadros dropped right the way underneath. Good control of the arm, and it was on the points of the shoulders there, so a good ippon. And the gold medal for Quadros. And nice to see one of the most experienced Brazilian fighters still there at the very top.
At under 52 kilograms, there was a chance for Mexico's Luz Olvera to make history by being crowned as their first ever World Judo Tour gold medalist. 3 Wazzaris in her quarter-final matchup against Slovenia's Anja Stangar whet the crowd's appetite for gold, as Olvera's right-sided Uchimata attack caused her opponent untold problems. She then took out Angelica Delgado of the US and was 1 win away from the history books. However, it would have to be a win against Sarah Menezes of Brazil, the 2012 Olympic champion. With the crowd on the edge of their seats, a tight bout went into golden score. Could Olvera keep up the work rate?
Well, Menezes can't afford another drop. She just can't. There's the Cianagi on the right. Oh, that was a bad one. And the pressure from Olvera is incredible here. And the crowd want the third Shido. Are they going to get it? They're baying for it. And you can see them up there. There's a possibility it's there. She gets the third Shido. Menezes doesn't know what happened. And Olvera wins the gold medal and the first ever for Mexico on the World Tour. That was an incredible work rate. She just kept at her all the time. Menezes just couldn't pull it back. She was 2 Shidos down. She couldn't afford another bad technique, and a poor technique cost her the gold medal. Mexico win their first ever World Tour gold. Olvera celebrates.
La verdad es muy importante ya que
I think this is a very important result. It's the first gold medal for Mexico in a Grand Prix, and so it's important for Mexican judo, and also important for all the kids watching, to give them motivation and show them that they can realise their dreams.
Receiving under 48 kilogram gold from IJF President Mr. Marius Visser was Brazil's Gabriela Chibana. The highlight of her route to the final was the first round, where she saw off Kimberly Rennicks of Great Britain, whom she eventually defeated by ippon after scoring 3 Wazzaris beforehand. In the final against Mexico's Edna Carrillo, she came out on top after this golden score Wazzari. Great work from Chibana. The 2 gold medal favourites at under 70 kilograms met at the semi-final stage. Great Britain's Sally Conway defeating world number 1 Elvismar Rodriguez by Wazzari. However, the final would see Conway upset by Spain's Maria Bernabeu. Losing by Wazzari, she was eventually disqualified after a 3rd penalty, giving the win to Bernabeu and Spain. Over 78 kilogram gold went to Croatia after Ivana Sutalo defeated Melanie Bolanos in the final, scoring a Wazzari on the edge of the contest area before securing the Mexican in a pin to win her first World Judo Tour gold medal. At over 100 kilograms, a new world number one was crowned after Brazil's David Moura defeated Cuba's Garcia Mendoza in the final. And for Argentina's Emmanuel Lucenti, there was finally a World Judo Tour gold medal at the age of 32. Having been competing on the World Judo Tour since 2009, he finally became Argentina's first male gold medalist after defeating Canada's Briand in the under 81 kilogram final by Wazzari. Our number 3 Ippon decided one of the under 100 kilogram bronze medal contests.
Granda has the sleeve pinned. Correa needs to get out of there. They've got to attack from it, and he did. Beautiful Ashiwaza that was. Correa went down. And he had the sleeve pinned. He had to attack. What a beautiful double stab Ashiwaza that was. And he took him onto the points of his shoulders.
Our number 2 Ippon shows why you can never be complacent in the sport of judo. When Chilean Jacqueline Uzneo locked Venezuela's Karen Leon in a pin, she thought she'd done enough to win. But Leon had other ideas, reversing the situation to her advantage and securing a pin of her own. For the win and a well-earned bronze medal. A great lesson in persistence from Leon. Our top Ippon does come from a Chilean, Thomas Biceno at under 100 kilograms.
Shukurov fighting hard for the grips. Briseno trying to get the sleeve. Now what's going to happen? Soni Surakamigoshi going to happen. Beautiful Soni Surakamigoshi. Well, he took the sleeve, and look at the elbow. Pops through, but it doesn't matter. He gets the rotation, takes him right the way onto his shoulders. Brilliant Ippon. And this is why it's so important that we hold some of these events in South America, so that we can see people like Briseno.
The under 78 kilograms division saw a World Judo Tour return for Brazil's 2014 world champion, Mayra Aguiar. Her rivalry with now retired double Olympic champion Kayla Harrison was legendary. And in the absence of her old nemesis, Aguiar will be hoping that Budapest can see her become a double world champion. At the semi-final stage, her usual foot sweep skills were on display as she dispatched Cuba's Caliema Antamachi by Wazzari to book a place in the final. There, she was up against Great Britain's Natalie Powell, who had won her semi-final contest against Leon by Ippon. Would Cancun be a golden return for Aguiar?
Well, Powell has got to make sure that she dominates the grip, but she's having her grip dominated at the moment. Aguiar just waiting. Ashiwaza is what she's looking for. Oh, look at that! Oh, and she's taken her over with the Sasai. Double stab, and she takes Powell over. She's got the Wazzari, but, well, it's been changed to Ippon. Aguiar wins the gold medal. What a return for her. Back to her very best. More of a Sasai, I think. It's a double stab, and look at Powell. She lands cleanly onto the points of her shoulders. And it's a clean Ippon, and the gold medal for Brazil. And the first one back for Aguiar. The World Championships just around the corner, and it's looking good for Aguiar.
I'm really glad to be back. The time off the mat without competing gave me more energy and the urge to get back. I'm almost 100% after the surgery, and I'm very happy to come back like this, especially with the gold.
So that's it from another fantastic judo event here in Mexico, as the nation continues its path to becoming a key player in world judo. There were lots of new faces sporting gold, many of whom will now feel energized going into the World Championships. But amongst all the newcomers, there were still some familiar faces on show, and for Mexico, it was a history-making Grand Prix. In 2 weeks, we'll be in Hohhot, China, for the last Grand Prix before the World Championships.